Hello everyone, welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name's Tyrone and today I went to a modeller's convention. They don't hold many here in Perth, Western Australia. They don't hold many at all. And I thought it'd be fun to go along and see what I could buy for $100. This, if you haven't seen one before, is an Australian $100 bill. It's probably not worth much in your town, but it is in mine. This is Sir John Monash, soldier and civil identity. And this is Dame Nellie Melba. She was an opera singer. So, that aside, I thought I'd throw that in just if you're interested. Let's see what $100 gets you in this town. So everything that I bought for the 100 is in here. I did buy a lot more things from the convention as I throw stuff at you. Sorry about that. And we'll go cheapest first and work our way up. The first 5 I bought from one fella. It's always the case, isn't it? If you buy more, you get them for slightly less. These were $5 each, but $4 each if I bought 5. So this first lot was $20. And I'll just unbox them quickly as we go. I've got a couple of Lotuses in here. So this first one is the Lotus Exige, and it's quite old, 2011, so 2012 release, coming up to a decade already. So let's have a look at him. For some reason they've made them harder and harder over the years to open them, but I'll put them up on the turntable as we go. So hopefully get the focus right. That's a little stunner, isn't it? I think this is the first one of this casting I have, and we'll bring out his buddy as well from today. This is from the MBX Airport series. This is the 2008 Lotus Evora, and same year, 2011, so 2012 release. And I do have another one of him, so I'll pop him up briefly as well. I got it in a lovely silhouette black recently. So that was a nice addition to the Lotus lineup. And something that looks a bit like a very old Lotus is actually a Capri R500 Superlight I got today. I'll bring you back down here because we'll switch up the turntable from the Lotuses, get rid of that one and put those up the back. Thought that Lotus had suspension, but it doesn't. Same year, so 2011, 2012, that's him there. Oh, that's the bit I just read out to you. And that's sort of a throwback to the old guy, but different company, different casting, different everything really. It's just the same sort of style. So I was pleased to find that. Often when I go to these conventions, when I get the chance to anyway, is just pick up anything that catches my eye, and this one was one of those. Looks a bit funny next to the old school casting, but Probably got a better example of that one. The windshield seems to be bent down a bit. Anyway, we're not here to look at that. We're here back on the support act tray. That's the one there. That's the base. And I'll see if the camera actually picks it up. Got a few comments on a previous video that I was showing the base of everything, but the camera wasn't picking it up. So hopefully that does. Yep, happy with that one. Moving right along. Come back here, young man. Ford Transit Connect. This is again from the MBX Airport series. I got a whole bunch of this one when I was collecting taxis a year or two ago. You had to buy 5 vehicles to get a taxi, and inevitably I wound up with about 15 or so of this as well. So this version is again 2011, release 2012. Looking very nice in the dark red, and he also came out in black. So that was a nice addition. Again, putting the wrong ones up there. So yeah, and to round out the cheap and cheerfuls, got a Cadillac. It is a 1950. That's hard to read in there. I'll rip that off and have a look. Cadillac Fleetwood. Oh man, 2012, so a year later. I've got a nicely growing number of Cadillacs, but I didn't have this one, I don't think, until now. Yeah. Okay. So this is the 1955 Cadillac Fleetwood. That's the base. I'll just do a slow zoom in and out manually because as the focus changes. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm digging that one. Not bad, $4. Considering how old it is. Very nice. Happy with that. I'll leave you there while you want to see this. So the next step up was the $10 range. This is a US issue, I believe. I don't think this came new to Australia. Or New Zealand for that matter. I may be wrong, I just wasn't aware, although everything seems to be in French as well, so maybe they were for many markets. But yep, this is a step up to the $10 range. Put the caddy down there. I'll open this one because the card's a bit tatty. Don't intend to keep out of it. And that is from the Niagara Falls. I've been to the Niagara Falls, so as soon as I saw this I said, yep, he's coming home. And Matchbox love to do this one, don't they? There's so many. I mean, it's such a cheap mix-up just to do another print of a sticker. You get the idea. I won't bring them all out. And today's edition. So that was a big $10. And what I'm finding more and more, even in the last 4 years that I've come back to collecting, is prices are going a little bit bonkers. Probably not just an Australia thing, but all around. And if you see something and it looks a little bit too expensive, wait a while, it'll feel cheap. This is, they're calling it just the Haileys Comet car, and I remember this coming out not on this blister pack, but however it came out, I can't remember, probably in this box. And the Haileys Comet thing, I don't remember what year it was. It was in the 80s. I was alive, I was at school, and I got so tired of hearing about this Haileys Comet coming, and it generated a lot of homework for me, so I started to quite resent it. So I wasn't interested when the car came out. I was really over it by then. And I did sit up on the roof of the house one of the nights it was supposed to be visible, and didn't see a thing. So when they brought this out, I thought, no thanks. But for $10 I thought, okay, it's time. So there it is. I don't dig much about this thing, I'll be fair. And when it came from something like that, you can see why. They threw some very strange wheels on it. But as gimmicky as it is, it's part of the collection now. The paint job isn't great. The base is hard to read because of the black. I wonder if it's... no, it's a different base anyway. Yeah. Oh well, it's in the collection now. Looks very jacked up at the back. Okay. Oh, get him out of shot. And the next one I wanted to show you is, this was another $10 item from the 80s. SLD pumps. I googled it just before the camera started rolling, and it's a company based in the UK. This is, as I said, from the late 80s, and the box is a bit rough, so I'll rip it open. There's no real point preserving it. Not for me anyway. So, amazingly, the white is still white after all this time. One of his buddies, to welcome him in, did not fare so well. If we show the camera the pretty side, it looks okay. This to me was Bigfoot. But it's morphed into this new one. Well, not new, you know, it's from the late 80s. But strangely advertising a pump company in the UK. So not sure what the connection is. But there again, I've got cars with Australian companies like Bob Jane T-Mart for tyres, and Australia Post and all that sort of thing. So I'm guessing it was just along those lines. So that was $10. We'll crowd these newer ones in and put him over there, get rid of the cameos and on with the show. And then you get a little bit pricey, not crazy though. This was a big $15, and I'll get him out of there. I've heard this one being pronounced about 400 different ways. I call it the Isogrifo. For a big $15, you get a fairly immaculate piece. I was quite happy to see it, and quite happy to buy it. Take the sticker off. Have a look at the base. Lovely original. So I'll pop him up there. And the only one I have of it is quite beat up in a lighter blue. Can't can't remember where I got the light blue one from, but different wheels, a bit ropey, and I don't know what I paid for it. So, but yeah, $15. I was quite happy with the dark blue. And one more to show you of this lot anyway, and then I'll go on to a few more that I got. As the budget exploded, we'll get him down here. And as I said, if I see anything interesting, I'll just snap it up, because you know what it's like. You leave these places with anything that you've just passed over and just walked out from, and you go back and it's not there, and you wish you had have picked it up. This is one of those items. Wasn't quite sure about it because the chrome on the engine is a little bit time. What's the word? Buggered. It's $35, but I've never seen this in orange. I don't know what market it came from, but it looks okay. This is the Capri with the roll-o-matic engine, meaning you push it along and something moves, and this, well, they're actually calling it the hot rocker, but it is a Capri, and I have its mate there. So yeah, when I saw it in the orange, I've seen it in a taxi, strangely enough, with that engine. But yeah, it was one of those had-to-have items. And that rounds out the $100 spent, or the $100 challenge. I spent a little bit more than that, and I'll briefly go through some of the things other than that I picked up. I won't go through the prices of everything. I got this one. It's the Ford Thunderbird. A little bit ropey, but I call it a stand-in for the collection. It wasn't particularly cheap, it wasn't a particular bargain, but it's the first time I've had an opportunity to pick one up, and chips or no chips, I love it, and that'll boost my little Moku collection quite nicely. It's the bottom there, in blue. It's got the grey wheels, very nice. And next up is this one. I'll tell you how much this one was because I have a little story about it which amused me greatly. Off in one corner of the little convention hall was an old couple having a cup of tea behind their stand, or behind their table, with their cars out front, and they were quite happily nattering away to each other. And I walked up and I spotted this one from across the room, and I thought, that's mine. So I went over and I gave it the once over and put it up on the bench to indicate that I was going to buy it. And I just smiled at them until they finished what they were nattering about, and the old fellow stood up and he picked it up and he says, "This is $25. And it just gave me the impression like, "Son, have you got that sort of money?" I felt like saying, "I know I act like I'm 8, but I do have adult money." So I said, "Yes, thanks." Gave him the money and he popped it in the bag for me. And it was one of those moments where you know, on a different wavelength. That amused me. But this is called the Ford Fairlane police car. And I love it. No, I beg your pardon, it's the Ford Galaxy police car. Do I have a Fairlane somewhere? Not from today, I thought I had a Fairlane. This is the bigger, wider version of a Fairlane. This is a Galaxy police car. It's got a few things wrong with it, a few chips. The hood deco or tampo on the front is slightly age worn, but I really like it. So that is that one. And then we went a little bit crazy and picked up that one. That is the Pontiac convertible, complete with a shocking red steering wheel. Yeah, it sort of speaks for itself, that one. But that's the bottom. So very pleased to find that today. Eventually I hope to get the mint condition one, but they go for very, very insane prices. I've seen one for $450, and that was sold. So yeah, and of an even older vintage is the Morris Minor in lovely original condition. Didn't come with a box, but yeah, quite often the box will double the price. So very happy to have this one in the collection. It's original. There's the base, and cute as cute can be. It never came with interior or windows back then, but yeah, that's of a different era. So I'll line them up. I'll put the ones that weren't included in the 100 off to the side. Let's do the wrap up. And I've got a bunch of other things from the convention too, but they're for another video. So there you have it. That's what 100 Australian picks up from a convention these days. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hit the like button if you did like it, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you next time. Bye.